Do you have Google Cast music? Do you have Apple AirPlay music? Do you have Titlecast music? Do you have Spotify on your phone? Would you like a device that can play from any one of those sources, and you can also put it through your home entertainment system so that you don't get it interrupted should you get a phone call or a notification or something like that? Well, this is the Arylic LP10 music streaming device. It does exactly that. Plus, it has the ability to connect to your network, so that if you want to connect your home audio in a very professional way, and I'm talking 192 kilohertz at 24-bit, well, this is your guy. Now, you might think something like this is expensive, but this device here can be found for about $100. If you'd like to learn more about this device, we're going to be doing an unboxing, and we're going to do a quick demonstration on how I could use it here in the studio. Well, keep watching because you're watching Blue Collar Guy. Okay, we're back. So today we're talking about the Arylic LP10 music streaming device. This is a very unique device in that it doesn't matter where the source is, it'll play it. It has a very unique user interface which can help you connect all of those with this box. And it's also got a physical remote control. So you don't have to use your phone. You can use a remote control just like your comfortable TV remote control, play all of your music, pause, play, next track, all that good stuff using this little device here. So let's go and take this out of the box and see exactly what you get in the box. So you can connect it via Spotify, Tidal Connect, Apple AirPlay, Google Cast. It doesn't matter which one you use, it'll all connect to this one box. If I wanted to have something play through a professional home audio system, then this is the kind of device that you would get. Okay, so you have the instruction manual. And by the way, there's an app that you'll put on your phone. And yes, I know there's an app and it's right here. It's called the Go Control app. And you can get it on the Google Play Store, so it's Google certified. And this is the, it's got the instructions here. I've got the app already on my phone, so we're going to be trying that out. And you can connect your Tidal Connect, your Spotify, your Google Cast, your Apple AirPlay. So it's agnostic, meaning that it doesn't matter which one you use, it will work with all of them. And on the back here, it's got all of the QR codes so that you can check out all of their websites. If you want to learn more from their websites, here's that information here. I'll put it right there. You could probably scan it with your phone right from the TV set right now. Also, there's support and after service right here. And from what I've learned is they offer excellent support. So before we begin, full disclosure, Arylic did send me out this device for the purpose of testing and review. However, they did not pay for the production of this video. This is not an infomercial. I can say what I want. They have there's no script to follow, nothing like that. Also, if you're new to the channel, I would like to welcome you and say that I don't have membership fees, I don't have any Patreon, I don't ask you for any money, no buy me a coffee, none of those things. If you think that I'm going to promote this just so I can get a commission on the sale of this box, well, I'm here to tell you that I do not have paid affiliate links with this company or with Amazon, nothing. So I do not get a commission on the box. I usually just accept these type of devices so that I can review them and because I think they're kind of cool. I also can't run out and buy everything under the sun. I am not independently wealthy, so when companies offer to send me things, I will test them, I will give you an honest review, and this is why I don't accept sponsorships, because I want you to get the real information on these products and not have to worry about, well, what's in it for me, right? So the only thing I have is they sent me the box, we're going to test it, and if it's good, I'm going to tell you it's good, and if it's bad, I'm going to tell you it's bad. So this is the back of the box, and you can connect it Ethernet, Bluetooth. Bluetooth distance is 15 meters. Bluetooth is 5.2, and you can connect it to your Ethernet, and of course it'll do up to 100 megabits per second, and dual band 2.4G, 5G. That's important because if it was just 2.4G, you may have problems connecting it. Now this is the important part right here. It is 24-bit, 192 kilohertz, and that is a very high resolution sample rate. 24-bit is extremely good, and 192. Now, you may have heard of 32-bit, but that's mainly for microphones. That's just so that you don't have clipping and those type of issues. You don't need that on a device like this. So 32-bit is not necessary for something like this. It does have an OLED display, and that's the size of it. We're going to take a closer look at that when we hook it up. And of course it has touch sensor buttons, meaning that the buttons are not physical clicky buttons. They're just, you just have to touch them. And it does Google Cast, Apple AirPlay, Tidal Connect, and Spotify Connect. And there's your dimensions. So it has 108 by 72 by 26 millimeters. Inside the box, it's very nicely packaged. It comes with some cables. Obviously, you're going to need some cables. Now, this is a TRS to TRS connector. That means tip ring sleeve. If you had 2 rings, that would be for a phone, but this is obviously so that you can connect this with your sound system. Or in my case, I'm going to demonstrate it with a Bluetooth speaker, but I'm going to be connecting it through the auxiliary input. I'm also going to connect it directly to my video switcher because I have a line input. And we're going to see how it works with that. So that would be a good example of connecting it to your home audio system, because a video switcher is a very expensive piece of gear. Now inside here we have the box itself. So I'm just going to take out the remote control. I'm going to take out this cable here. Now, by the way, this cable is also a TRS connector, but on the back here it's got your RCA outputs. So if you have an older receiver and it uses these type of connectors, well, you're still in business because you have the cable that's included with the box for that. And we also have this here, and I'm just going to check out this because this looks different. Oh, I know what this is. This is a power brick. So it has a power supply that comes with this, and it can run on USB power. So you don't have to use a power brick. If you have a power, like a USB power distribution, you can also use that as well. So let's just get this box out of the way. So here's the box. It's not that big at all. It's pretty tiny. And we are going to measure it. So in inches, because I know this is what you're going to want, it's just a little bit, 4 1/4 inches, I'd say, long. And looks to be 2 7/8. Let's say 2 7/8 or 2 3/4. Let's call it 2 3/4. And on the thickness, we have 1 inch. Okay. So on the unit itself, there's your front display here. And of course, we have the film. So take that off. On this side, there isn't anything on that end, but on the back, then we have our connectors. Now, it's hard to see this one right here, but this one says line in. And this is line out. And this one here is your optical out. So if you want to connect it with a TOS link, you can. That is your power supply right here. And this is so that if you have music on a flash drive, you can also play it through here as well. And this little guy here, now that is if you want to connect it to your network. So that if you have a large house, or if you want to connect a bunch of these together, they can all kind of work together. And I'm just going to cover up the serial number. This is an LP10, 5 volts. And it is manufactured in China. and there's all the safety and FCC certifications. On the top, you have your volume up, volume down, or track forward, track down, place, pause and play, and you're on off. Now these do not click, they're just touch sensitive. So we're going to see how effective those are. So on the instructions, it tells you what's in the box, the device interface, the connection, the app download, network setup, connection via Bluetooth, streaming audio playback, and of course you have a legal note. So we have, you know, and of course it says right away, don't submerge that in water or let your children eat it because it would not be tasty. And on the back here, it's got some diagrams. So if you were to connect this to your stereo system, you would simply use this connector here if you have the RCA. And also you can connect this with the, your Toslink fiber optic output. And then this part here, the RGA, this goes into your router. So that way you connect it through your network. Manage multiple devices with one app. Set up Wi-Fi connection, change audio input mode, playback control. And when you go to your network setup, you go to Control app, hold down the volume up and volume down button at the same time. Turn on Bluetooth, GPS, open the app, wait for the app, confirm your ASCII configuration, list this. So we're going to do all of this. By LAN, you can connect it directly to your LAN or your router. After a few seconds, the device will connect to your home network. So this looks like it's a lot simpler than going through all of this. And then you can also connect it via Bluetooth, use Bluetooth, change mode, Bluetooth button on your controller, it'll cast, it'll say cast, and then that's the name. And then you just connect it and pair it. Streaming audio playback, make sure your device is on the same network as your device, your playback device. So make sure your playback device is on the same network as your device. Okay, Apple AirPlay, you connect, enjoy your favorite audio content such as music, podcasts, iPad home, so you can connect your iPad, your HomePad, your iPad mini, Apple TV, all of this good stuff here. Tidal Connect, same thing, on your phone, tablet, using Wi-Fi. Spotify, connect, go to Spotify, connect, learn how. So they have instructions on how to connect your Spotify as well. I'm going to be trying my licensed music. So I'm going to, because I have licensed music because I'm on YouTube, I'm going to be using that. And here we are. This is just all the specifications. And of course, they all have to file an FCC statement to make sure that it doesn't interfere with other devices. And that's why we have the FCC involved. And this has to do probably with copyright. So legal notice, all that good stuff. Okay, so I've connected to the Wi-Fi, and as you can see, it's checking for a firmware update. And it says, please wait another 30 seconds. It says, okay. And then it'll say, you can in Google Cast, accept. Yes, I'm in Google Home. And then I can dismiss. So I can do my Google Gemini. Dismiss. So you can do all of these things. So this is connects it. I can connect it with my TV set and other devices through my Google Home. So we can do that. So I'm just going to go back to, I'm just going to skip out of here. I'm going to skip. Okay, so right now I've got some music connected, and I would connect it through the Bluetooth because I want to connect it directly to here through the Bluetooth. And then I've got some settings so I can adjust my EQ, my treble, my mid, my bass, my balance, my deep bass if I want to add some deep bass. Custom EQ over here so I can adjust your custom EQ list, so I can have that. So you can have a little bit more control over your EQ settings when you're playing your music through one of these. So this is a very handy little device. And right now, if you look, it'll say connection on the Bluetooth. Now I'm just going to go back to me really quick because I want to talk about this remote control. Okay, so I found out what these buttons on the remote control do. So that, of course, is your power button. This is the brightness control for the screen, for the OLED screen. This is your Wi-Fi. This is your Bluetooth right here. And this one on the end is line in. This is, of course, your play buttons and your volume, flash drive, EQ, and the heart. And I showed you it does have the EQ settings and all the rest of that other stuff. Now as for the 1 and the 2, I would imagine they are presets for your favorite, either Spotify or your Google. You get to pick one or the other. And that's the best I can figure out for these ones. But it doesn't say that in there. But I don't have two services to compare, so I can't really tell you what these ones mean. But I'll find out. If I find out, I'm going to put it down in the bottom right now. So let's go back and see a closer look at this. So I've got it turned off right now. If I turn it on, okay. So to turn it on, you got to remember to hold this down. It's not a button per se. In a way, I kind of wish it wasn't this capacitance thing because I can't really tell if I'm activating it or not. So if I hold it down, it's going to shut off and you're going to see a red light. But you got to make sure that you just rest your finger on there until it turns on. And that's about the best I can explain that. So, but I can, there we go. So if you just touch it really fast, then it switches between the different settings. So just a light tap and it will switch. So we're going to put it on Bluetooth. And then it's going to play through this speaker here, this gorgeous purple speaker that I borrowed. And there's an input. And this is what it's going to sound like when I push play. So I've got some music on there already. And I have the license for this music. So if I click on here, and it's an IR remote, by the way. So this has got a sample rate of 192 kilohertz at 24-bit. So it's pretty good. You're going to get good resolution out of this. And on this little speaker here, there we go, muted. And then if I touch it again, there you go. So there's a little bit of a delay. So just remember that. I would almost be inclined to use this instead. Because this seems a little bit, I like the clickiness is what I'm getting at. Start my play there. Now if you look on here, you're going to see a timeline. So it actually gives you a display on how much time and on your volume level. So if I lower the volume, I can lower the volume. If you look at my phone, I'm actually changing the volume with the remote. Okay, that's pretty good. EQ. So I've got classic EQ. See that word, classic? Got pop, jazz. So we're going to go to genres. Put on some jazz. let me see, search, acoustic. We'll put in some jazz. There's some jazz music. There we go. Some nice slow jazz music. So I can turn it up. And this is an IR remote. It is not Bluetooth, just so you know. That's an infrared remote. Has to be pointed at the sensor. But I keep touching these top buttons by accident, and I keep messing everything up. So now if I wanted to control this through a network, I can. I can play everything through my network. I can connect all my apps and play them all through the network. But right now, I need to put my licensed music in there. And that's what, you know, it's playing through this little tiny speaker. But I'm going to connect this into my video switcher now. Okay. Mic number 2. Turn it on. And there should be some music playing. Okay, so there's some music playing. I know that there's music playing because I can see the levels of the output. So I'm just going to turn that down. If I pause it. If I want to switch tracks, I can do that on the remote. So watch. I'm going to show you my phone app here. And I'm just going to switch tracks. And now it's switched over to the other one. And now I've switched over to this one. See how it switched? And I did that with the remote control. So that's kind of cool. That's really cool. Yeah, I like that. And that's what that sounds like. So I'm just going to shut this. I'm going to hit that and stop that for a second. And then we're going to go back to me. So this is a pretty cool device, and for me, I could use it as a connection to my video switcher to play some background music and have it mixed in as opposed to doing it in post. So there is some advantages of doing that, because if you're using editing software, every time you change something, it's harder on the computer. Now it's got something else to figure out, and it's got to add this, and it's got to do this, and it's got to change your color settings, and it's got to add some music now. So every one of these things puts a demand on your video editing software. So when you do it through a video switcher, you're taking less demands off of your editing. So having this box do that in post, you know, it's not a bad idea. So I think that a lot of content creators that do live streaming might want to consider one of these little boxes. And at $100, you know, we spend a lot more money than that just on lenses and things like that. So for a content creator, this would be a bargain and pretty much a no-brainer if they were doing a lot of live streams. And it's also a way to keep your audience engaged as well. So I think for me, that is a use case for me. But if I had a big house and I wanted to put music throughout my house, then this would also be a no-brainer as well. And in live stream situations, you cannot add music in post. So this little box will allow me to add music in a live stream situation, and the music is high quality, 24-bit, 192. That's pretty good, and I can add it on the fly. I can use my licensed music, so I don't have to worry about a copyright claim or a copyright strike, and that works for me. So if I was filming a parade, for instance, a lot of times they're playing licensed music at parades. We can get a copyright claim, copyright strike. I can attenuate that sound, add this in, and this way I'm fully going to be monetized on my videos. So for me, it does have a practical use case. Now for you, it could be maybe you just have a big house. Maybe you don't want phone calls interrupting your music during a party. So there is a lot of good uses for something like this. Now the fact that you get this box, you get a remote control, and it can do all of these cool things for about $100, it's not bad. We pay a lot more money for a lot less. So would I recommend this device? Absolutely. I think it is a pretty good bang for the buck. There is a few shortcomings. I wish this was a Bluetooth remote control, and I do wish that the app and things would connect a lot easier and a lot faster. But I was able to get everything working, and it just took a little bit of patience and a little bit of persistence, and I got it up and running. They do need to change their instruction manual, give more information on the remote control. Maybe they could put an addendum like another pamphlet just on the remote control and put it in with the box in the future. That would be one solution. And they did supply all of the necessary cables that you would need to hook it up in different ways, and I got to give them credit for that as well. It was very well packaged and it has a nice feel to it. But as far as the buttons go, I prefer clicky buttons on the box itself. I do not like those capacitance buttons. It was too easy for me to hit the wrong button or to have the wrong function pull up. So that, tells me that I'd rather use this. So I would really like to thank Arylic for sending me out the LP10. It's a very cool little box. I was able to hook it up to the speaker and to a very high-tech video switcher that I will be doing a review on very shortly. So that's it for this video. Take care, be safe at work, and I will see you at the next video. Bye.